In the last episode of the Marseille career mode, we made progress in Champions League, advancing to the quarterfinals. Other clubs have started to take notice of our achievements in France as we received a job offer from Inter. Hey, what's going on everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 21 Marseille career mode. This is episode number 7 and the start to season 4. And coming off of one of the most dramatic ends to a season that I've ever seen, literally going until the final match day where we had to rely on a Monaco loss to qualify for Champions League. We have done it as we're into the qualification round once again. Of course, we've also continued our success in other competitions like the Coupe Nationale, putting us into the final of the Trophy des Champions. And I found that if we can win this competition at the start of the season, then the good form tends to carry forward into both Liga MX and Champions League. There's been a lot of Marseille news that has come out since we last recorded this career mode. News coming out last weekend that Thauvin will be joining Tigres on a free transfer, leaving Marseille to reunite with his former teammate Gignac. And I think this took a lot of people by surprise. It wasn't news that Thauvin might leave the club, but to go over to Mexico instead of a top 5 league. I know Leicester was very heavily linked with Thauvin, as well as some clubs in Serie A, but it is what it is, and now we have to make a decision what we want to do with Thauvin in this career mode. He's been an important player for the club. He's even had the captain's armband the last 2 seasons, and at an 85 overall rating, 30 years old, maybe it's time that we transfer list him, reflect a bit of realism in the save, and make another signing, maybe a player that Marseille is linked to in the upcoming summer transfer window. I'm going to leave this decision up to you guys, so if you have any input on what you think we should do with Thauvin, whether we should transfer list him and look to sign another player or keep him in this Marseille squad, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll review the comments and make a decision for the next episode. But as we get into the home stretch of this Marseille career mode, you guys have been amazing on showing your support for this series. If you can keep that going by leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, that would be a massive help to me as we push on towards the last few months of FIFA 21 and keep some good momentum going. But as far as this transfer window goes, we already have a lot of funds at our disposal, 110 million. And the board has high expectations for us domestically. They want us to win the league title, win the Coupe Nationale, and reach the final of Champions League. To go along with all the other board objectives like youth development, signing a couple of players from the youth academy, brand exposure, getting a streak of 15 games with at least 1 goal scored, and signing 1 player of a different nationality of the club, and financially increasing the club's worth. And there's really only 1 player that I have in mind that would be the perfect fit for us here in the summer of season 4. I've rumored it for a while, and I think the time is now for us to re-sign Kamara from Manchester United. If you've been following along with the career mode, you know the storyline that we've been developing. We transfer listed him at the start of season 2, and to be honest, his rating has become pretty stagnant, staying at an 86 for a few seasons now. So with Manchester United not winning a Champions League title, not becoming the best team in England, I think a move back to France could be right for him and the next stage of his career as we look to win our own Champions League title here at Marseille. This was a 9-digit transfer, I believe the first one that we've had at the 100 million mark, at least for this save. Agreeing to, of course, a crucial squad role for us. This will indeed be a 5-year deal, and he's going to be on 100 grand a week. One of the many positive things about these longer term saves is that once you are a few seasons in, you can typically find some good players from the free agents. Last season, we found Ledesma on a free transfer, and now we're going to turn our attention more to regens with Thiago Silva retiring at the end of season 3, staying at Chelsea for the entirety of his career in this save. If you're not familiar with this process, I did make a video on how to find regens in FIFA 21. One tip I have to add to that is that you can actually go to the edit player category and just make sure that the birthday matches up for both the player that retired as well as the regen. So we can confirm that this is indeed Thiago Silva's regen. He's got a pretty good overall rating already, 73 overall at 18 years old, showing great potential, but we can see an improvement here as we send him out on loan, maybe even give him some play time in this save. There's a few reasons why I like this transfer. One, it checks off our brand exposure objective to help boost our manager rating, but Marseille have had a lot of Brazilian players play for the club over the years, and Thiago Silva spent a good portion of his career over in France. So I think it makes sense for us, and it's going to provide some well-needed squad depth at the center back position. But I wasn't just seeking out players. We did start to receive offers for some high overall players in our squad, especially Chaleta Tsar receiving 2 offers from both Real Madrid and Barcelona at over 100 million. I decided to reject both of these because at this stage of the career mode, losing an 87 rated player would be more of a step back than a step forward for us. And I'm pretty happy with the current status of our starting 11. Any further transfers will just be for realism, like the Thauvin move, if we decide to let him go. But we did make a top 3 transfer in the summer, Camara being one of the 3 players that were signed for over 100 million. Rafael Varane, actually an interesting career trajectory in this save, leaving Real Madrid initially to Napoli, but now he's rejoined here in season 4. So they're going to have an incredible partnership with both Varane and Koulibaly. Laporte also seems to be done with his time in England as he returns back to Spain and joins Barcelona for 101.3 million. We didn't have a whole lot of high profile transfers happen, but we did have 2 players leaving on a permanent basis. Kawi, who featured a little bit in season 1, as well as one of our backup fullbacks in Ali Mohammed, and then just as per usual, a bunch of loan deals. Most of these players haven't featured too much for us. Some of them are youth academy player promotions. We'll keep an eye out to see if we see any double-digit growth like we had for Efenu last season, but we did have the single youth academy promotion at the start of this year. Lovric, one of the many Serbian players in our youth academy, the left winger, 17 years old at a 62 overall, potential of 71 to 94. Recapping some of the top deals in France, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, but I think PSG have made the most transfers in every single transfer window as they spend again over 100 million, bringing in Dumfries, Jonathan Tah, and Bilo to help bolster their squad. We had the second most net spend at 100 million, the single transfer with Camara. Lille didn't have a whole lot of players joining the club, but Jonathan David leaving for 93 million. Lyon in 4th as they make 3 signings totaling over 70 million. And finally, Monaco rounding things out with 69 million in transfers for players coming in and 31 million in players leaving. At this stage, it's pretty difficult to find new countries to scout out and give good rationale for doing so, but I kind of covered the top nationalities that are associated with Liga, not necessarily Marseille, as of course we start our scouting network in France for 6 months looking for any type of player. Portugal will be searching for a winger for 6 months. And then finally, we'll be heading to Belgium for 6 months looking for a physically strong player. We've got a total of 3 development plan updates. Camara has not been on the defensive midfield depth plan up to this point, but I think now that he is, we're going to see a massive boost to his rating. So I wouldn't be all that surprised if he reaches a 90 overall by the end of this career mode. Second depth plan change will be Centons. I think it's time for him to switch to the attacking wide back. We've kept him on the development plan of balanced. Up to this point, he's seen some good growth in his rating, and I've already started to receive some big offers for him, but I'm super happy with him as our fullback, and now he's going to become even more gifted in those attacking attributes. Finally, it's Thiago Silva's region that will be switching to the sweeper dev plan, helping improve, of course, the pace, as well as the dribbling, defending, and physical attributes. This Marseille squad is certainly shaping up, and we've made one change to our starting 11 compared to the last season. Of course, putting Camara in at the center defensive mid position. Gaia will still feature a lot in this career mode as an impact sub, or if we have an injury to any of our 3 midfielders. But I've also given Camara the captain's armband, as he does have the leadership trait, and with Thauvin future uncertain here at Marseille, it makes more sense to give one of our former players that left for a bit, but now he's back, the captain's armband. We'll be starting the gameplay today in the Trophy de Champions, and then we've got an interesting run of fixtures. If we can get through the qualifying round of Champions League, we'll see an extended run in that competition, as well as a little bit of a focus on Liga 1 as we look to win that title as well. A compact start to the season, as on the 29th of July, we have a cup final against PSG, and then the month of August is absolutely stacked. Keep in mind that if we can get past Basel in the first stages of qualifying, we have 2 additional fixtures in the next round of Champions League qualifiers. But for now, our focus will be on Paris Saint-Germain. They've gotten the better of us in the Trophy de Champions. We've played them twice already. They've won both of those matches, maybe third time's a charm. And with the addition of Camara at center defensive mid, I think we have a better shot of maintaining both Neymar and Mbappe, still the star players for PSG. We, of course, have a star player of our own, Hernandez, quickly approaching the 90 overall Fours rating and becoming one of the best players in France. Ever since we've solidified the 4-3-3 defensive as our primary formation, I feel like we've generated more goal-scoring opportunities, starting this match off with a pretty good chance, but Hernandez unable to make contact with that header, and a poor foul here from Digne. I really do wish that refs were more strict with the cards that they're giving. This wasn't even a yellow card for the PSG fullback, but we're jumping forward to the second half, And on a free kick, it's Hernandez who nearly gets our first free kick goal of FIFA 21. Y'all need to leave some tips for me because I want to score a free kick before this FIFA cycle is over. I think turning on time finishing might be the move from what I've seen other career mode YouTubers do. That seems to be the way to go. But some unfortunate scenes here as the ball is bouncing around. Mbappe with what looked to be a strafe dribble, just boosting that ball forward, a burst of pace, and it's going to be the first goal of the match in the 71st minute. Not much we can do about that. I felt like we defended pretty well. Mbappe is always going to do Mbappe things. As we make another late substitution, it's Cordova being brought on for Rongier. Honestly, we've used him more as a midfielder in the center of the park than we have out wide, and I don't mind it. A big reason why we signed him is due to his versatility, and he's fit right in at Marseille. But in the 87th minute, it's Nkunku to get the second goal for PSG, pretty much sealing this match. We were bringing players forward, looking for that equalizer, and as a result, we were more prone to the counterattack. A good win for PSG as they hang on to another clean sheet. Despite mixing around their defense, Marquinhos has stayed solid as their captain. And once again, I felt like they were the better team. We are certainly in the running for defeating them in these cup finals or even in Liga MX this season, but it's always going to be an uphill battle while they've still got both Neymar and Mbappe. Let's not forget though, we've got a lot of competitions that we're involved in. There's still a chance that we can win a treble if we were to win the league, the Champions League, and the Coupe Nationale, which we have yet to lose. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can get through the Champions League qualification as we have Basel in our first fixture. It was a 1-1 draw in the home leg. I was a bit nervy here as we go into the away leg. I was doing the interactive match sim just to make sure we get a good result. And fortunately, we do hang on to a clean sheet, get the away goal, and win this one at 2-1 on aggregate. But we have arguably one of the most difficult opponents in the playoff round. I think due to the way that FIFA 21 is structured, or maybe even how the Eredivisie is structured, Ajax are always involved in this Champions League qualifying. You guys already know, if you watch the Ajax save, that they have so many high potential young players, and that is going to play a role since we're 4 seasons into the career mode. So they are reaching the upper ends of their potential. They did manage to win the first fixture 2-0, meaning we need a big result in the away leg if we want to stand a chance. Impressively enough, Ajax have maintained a lot of their high potential players. They still have Gravenberch in the midfield, Kudus, Sebastian Aller, Anthony at right wing. The list goes on and on. And even though I knew this would be a tough match, I was kind of happy to return to the Johan Cruyff Arena. I've missed the Ajax career mode. It was a big part to the channel this year, and hopefully you all enjoy this fixture as well. One important thing to note is that a couple of our current players are former Ajax players. Both Milik and Bazor spent the earlier stages of their career in Amsterdam, so it's a bit of a return for them, and we'll need to rely on a big performance if we do want to draw things level or even advance to the next round of Champions League. This match gets off to a quick start, goal scoring chances for both teams to be honest, but on the corner kick, we're going to retain a little bit of possession. It's Tomiyasu finding Bazor into Milik, our 2 Ajax linked players generating that goal. Bazor with the assist, Milik with the goal. That is exactly how we needed to start this match. And honestly, this was some perfect play. I'm getting more and more used to Milik being left-footed. I think for the longest time in this save, I thought he was right-footed, but right after kickoff, we managed to win back possession. It's Milik again, who's going to find Bazor. It's the other way around. A heavy touch. Thought it was a little bit too much, but we do get the chip off. And that is going to be a second goal. We're level on aggregate already, 11 minutes into this fixture. I was not expecting this going into the match, but this is going to change the tides completely. Ever since we signed him a few episodes ago, I've been giving a lot of praise for Tomiyasu's performances in game, and as he grows in his overall rating, I think he is going to become our starting left center back. And just before the halftime break, it's Hernandez with nearly a wonder goal. He's going to continue that good form in the second half as he sets up Milik on a platter. It really should have been the third goal for us, and as a result of that miss, we'll be taking off Milik and bringing on Solis, who continues to develop a role in this save, either as a starting 11 player or as an impact sub. After all, he's got an overall rating, I believe in the lower 80s, 82, 83 even. Some nice 1-2 play between Bazor and Solis. Bazor with a cheeky finish, the finesse shot, hitting off the post and in. That's a crucial goal because now, even if Ajax were to get another goal here, bring things level on aggregate, we have the advantage on away goals. Some big defensive stops, and it's Cordova who is pushing the ball forward, trying to get one more for us. And I don't know why This was called for offside. It was on Solis, but you could see Hernandez was not offside. He was who I was trying to lock onto, and that really should have been another goal for us, as well as this one from Radonjic. He's usually been clinical with these cross-goal efforts, but it didn't matter too much. We still had the match sealed up, and we will be advancing to the group stage of Champions League. I think there would have been a lot of people skeptical that we could come back from that 2-0 deficit, myself included, but a huge performance by the boys. And as far as the group stage go, we're going to continue with some nice storylines. Beautiful to see Wolfsburg here in the group stage, another one of our former career modes. We've also got Real Madrid and Dynamo Kiev as our other opponents in the group, so this will make for some really entertaining gameplay and storylines. A tough first test for us though, as Real Madrid will be our first group stage opponent. We'll be able to witness that Koulibaly-Varane partnership in action, not to mention all of their high potential young players like Mendy, Vinicius, Valverde, and Odegaard have all progressed to their peak rating. The home leg did end in a 1-1 draw. Not many chances created by either side. I think that's a fair result. If we want to pick up a win, it will require a strong defensive performance. Rulli, having played in La Liga, might be familiar with our opponents. But it is Madrid and Depay who play through Valverde to start off the match, really doing a good job to close down the space, and Centons comes to the rescue to pick up the loose ball. Hernandez played through in the 37th minute. This is going to be an ice cold finish, another finesse shot to the far post, and exactly what we planned on doing. Just those runs in behind by our wingers have worked out to perfection, and this was a perfectly slotted finish to the side netting. We still got a very long ways to go, and this sequence of build-up play is exactly why I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It's Kubo who finds the equalizer. Really, again, doing well to close down the space. It's exactly what a goalkeeper should be doing in that situation, but unfortunately, he does get nutmegged. Not too many highlights as we are now into the second half. 60th minute as we bring on Radonjic. Despite missing that effort in the Ajax fixture, we're going to give him a second chance, and he makes good on his opportunity. A great touch to create some space, getting by Koulibaly, which I found was the most difficult part. The only thing I could have said about this is that if he would have made a more central run, I think he could have given the score option for Hernandez. That should have been an easy goal. We push on though as Cordova with the chance, as Courtois makes the save. And this is some great dribbling by another one of those high potential signings from Real Madrid. I believe he plays at Sparta Praha to start off the career mode. But yeah, they have made another big transfer. Thauvin, 85th minute, some skill moves to try to get by Koulibaly. He's just a brick wall though. Maybe could have been called a penalty kick, but he definitely got some of the ball. On another occasion, you never know what the ref may say. But we're all the way in the 89th minute, and it's again Kubo to get a goal. He seems to have a promising future ahead at Madrid, and hopefully he can get a similar amount of play time in the coming seasons. Not how I would have liked to start our Champions League campaign, but we always knew going into this match it would be our most difficult test. Shifting from our most difficult group stage opponent to one that we should get a win against, it's Dynamo Kiev in the next fixture of Champions League. You might know some of their players. Popov, a bit of a legend in the career mode community, is going to be a quality center back for them. But if the home fixture is anything like the away leg, it should replicate a similar scoreline. A fun fact about our opponents is that our goalkeeper, Rulli, actually played against them in this year's Europa League competition while playing, of course, for Villarreal. And another thing I've got to say about them is that they were difficult to score against. You can see from these opening highlights, we were creating numerous chances, but we just could not seem to find the back of the net. We're still in the 35th minute now, and it's Hernandez. A lot of space, and on this effort, I think the chip shot was not the right decision. Probably should just go with power there and find the easy way towards the goal. We're into the second half now, and I was starting to get a little bit nervous because if we don't get a goal soon, then we start losing the chances of us winning. It had to be a couple of good saves from Rulli to keep this match level. So we'll look to make some substitutions, bring on Milik, whose stamina was low to start with. So that's why I decided not to start him. As he is our current club top scorer, I expect him to make the impact on the match. And actually was our two substitutes that link up for the opener. Cordova to provide the assist, Milik with the effort off the post and in with just 11 minutes left to play now. It goes to show how important Milik is to our Marseille squad. It's just a different dynamic without him. He provides that target man option, and his finishing in front of goal, specifically the 18-yard box, is impeccable. So although we didn't win by the margin I would have liked, we still pick up 3 crucial points in the group stage as we try to keep our momentum with just one opponent left to go. Wolfsburg, another side that has made some great signings so far in this save. Castells was a bit of a hero in our career mode, and nice to see him still between the sticks for them. Brekalo as well at left mid. But I think a lot of the transfers include some decent German signings like Enriques at the left back position, a couple of French players like Konate and Gendozi both being realistic signings, and finally Kangen Lee making an appearance, who also featured in our Valencia career mode. Despite having a cool side, Wolfsburg didn't exactly show up in the simulated fixture. We won the home leg 2-0, and now as we travel to Germany, we just need to show up and play. If we play anything like our previous matches in Champions League, we should be able to score some goals. Now that I think about it, this is another rematch for Bazor against one of his former sides. I'm not sure how well known he was for his time at Wolfsburg, but still a big match for us in terms of potential implications for Champions League and also for him. It is Milik who opens up the scoring, that fake shot creating the space that he needed to get that effort on his left foot, and no way Castells can put a stop to that one. Now it's going to be Milik feeding Hernandez through on goal, getting by Konate with ease. You can spot out that run in the middle, and it is Bazor with another tap in goal. It seems like we finally figured out the lock on for those RBA passes, and hopefully we can continue that sort of form as we push on to the later stages of the career mode. Big injury though, as Amavi is going to be out. Gaya is the only player that really can fit in at that left back position because he is left footed, and we'll need to have him there for about 3 months. We need to be careful now because with the 2-goal lead, I'm pretty confident we can win this match. I don't want to risk any sort of longer term injuries. We get away with one to not let up a goal, and right after that sequence of play, it's Thauvin finding Rongier. What a hit this was just before the halftime break, giving us a 3-0 advantage. It has been a while since Rongier scored one of his wonder goals. He played a huge role in this career mode early on. Nice to see him get on the score sheet. It's going to be a standard change as we get into the second half of highlights. Solis being brought on for Milik. And I think the big takeaway I can tell about our Greek striker is that keep it simple with him and just go for power on goal. That was on his weak foot there, and it didn't even look like it because with a 4-star weak foot, he can still generate a lot of power behind his shots. Even on this occasion, it's again on his left foot, and it's going to give us a 5th goal. Within minutes of being brought on, he was scoring effort after effort, nearly getting a hat trick here within about 10 to 15 minutes. Had to be a good save from Castells to deny that, but we still pick up a big 5-0 result. Nice way to close out Champions League, and I'll be unveiling where we finish in terms of the group standings right after one more fixture in Liga 1. This fixture against Auxerre will be our final match before the January transfer window. A good way for us to get an idea of how we're doing. You can see 2 consecutive wins for us in Liga 1, as well as that draw in Champions League against Real Madrid. I believe Auxerre is one of the newly promoted sides of Liga 1 this season, so we can experiment with the squad a bit. Deciding to give Solis the starting striker role with his good form against Wolfsburg, along with giving Thiago Silva's regen the start at left center back. Part of the reason for our success this season has been our defensive form. You can see we are the best defensive club in France, largely in part to Rulli, who was the 2nd best goalkeeper last season. He may even be best this year. Gaya has had an interesting sequence of events during his career here at Marseille. Initially, he was squad depth for Camara, but when he was transfer listed in season 2, he became our starting center defensive mid. Now he finds himself as more of an impact sub and can fill in where needed, including this match at left back, playing an important role in that buildup, which eventually led to a Solis finish. But we get into the 17th minute, and it's our opponents, Auxerre, who try to make something happen. Good dribbling, and it has to be a nice save from Rulli to stop that effort. Another great pass by these newly promoted side, and it was Tomiyasu who actually got a final block in. I don't think that was even a corner kick. Solis and his pace has just been too much to handle as he gets by the defender with ease. It's a decent save by the Auxerre keeper on his near post. But I think the best save that I've seen in this match, and may even be the best save of the career mode, is this one in the 37th minute, denying that shot from Solis. As we get into the second half, we'll push on and try to find this 2nd goal and secure the 3 points in Liga 1. We can't really afford to lose against these sort of teams if we do want to challenge for the title. With that said, we even need to beat top teams like PSG later on. Again, it's one of those R1, RBA passes as we get a second goal. Solis has improved a lot in his positioning during his time here at Marseille. Glad to see that he has gotten better in that aspect. Despite some early efforts and later chances to get back into this match, Auxerre will be called for offside on this occasion, and the final highlight will come here in the 85th minute. Rodonic being brought on late, and he's going to take some heavy touches, get back to his usual ways with the cross goal effort. He's serving more of a center forward role, and his time here at Marseille will unfortunately be coming to an end unless we can finally loan list him, because I can't renew a contract until that happens. But anyways, a good result and an all-around team performance. Hernandez probably stole the show with a couple of assists, but we couldn't have been able to get this win without his supporting cast. This is the first time in the save that I can definitively say we have a shot of winning the league title at the halfway mark of season 4. Within 4 points of PSG, so if we can win the next fixture that we have against them, that'll be a 6-point turn as we close the gap. But I left y'all with a bit of suspense in Champions League. We did indeed win the group. This is the first time we've managed to do it so far in the save, and that'll be good for our future as we will have an easier opponent in the round of 16 stages. Milik will continue his trend of being the top goal scorer for the club at the halfway mark. Good distribution here, 17 goals from 27 appearances. Hernandez with 11 goals from 30, and also Thauvin in the double digits, 10 from 29. Hernandez did lead the way with assists though, as he had 7 from 30. Rongier and Thauvin both on 5 assists from 29 appearances. I want to give a shout out to channel members for supporting what we do here on YouTube, and I wanted to let y'all know that I've just opened up a new tier of the membership program and also added some new perks. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can click the join button right underneath the video. There's also a link in the description talking about it. I've realized that y'all might want to see some more behind the scenes stuff of the saves. So yeah, if you're interested, then definitely check it out. But some decisions for us to make in the second half of season 4. We had that big injury to Amavi, so maybe even making a left back signing wouldn't be the worst thing, as we don't really have a replacement left back. For now, I put in Gaya as a placeholder, and he's done the job all right, but again, it wouldn't be the worst thing to make an improvement there. If y'all did enjoy today's episode of the Marseille Crew Mode, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, but until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.